Good evening. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jeff Hester. I'm the founder and CEO of Social Adventures and of the Six Pack of Peaks Challenge series. And thank you for joining us for Homecoming 2022. This week has been great. We've had some really great speakers and presentations about, Severia Tilden talking about why women-only adventures can be awesome experiences for women. TJ Lopez talking about what to do when you're injured on the trail and how to handle that, prepare for that, and also recover from that. I had a lot of fun last night talking with Jason Fitzpatrick and Derek Loringer about our Wonderland Trail experience, and hopefully that was a lot of fun for anyone who joined that. Tonight we're going to be talking about what's new for 2023 specifically with Social Hiker and the Six Pack of Peaks Challenge series. And I thought a great place to kind of begin is at the beginning and how it started, what the origin story of the Six Pack of Peaks Challenge is, and what it was, how we got to where we are today. So the original Six Pack of Peaks was created in 2010 as my wife and I were preparing to thru hike the 211-mile John Muir Trail in Sierra Nevada mountains. I organized group hikes, and so you can see a couple pictures of some of the groups. We had anywhere from probably 6 to 12 people on every single one of those 6 hikes. And those were our long hikes on the weekends leading up to our trip. So we were doing local hikes after work 2 or 3 times a week. And then on the weekends, we'd do an all day long, butt kicker kind of a hike. And those became the Six Pack of Peaks. And I wrote about it on the blog that I was curating at the time, SoCal Hiker. And it kind of took off. So people started doing that to train for other events, hiking the High Sierra Trail or climbing Mount Whitney, or maybe they were training to climb Kilimanjaro. And this gave them a way where they could start at lower elevations and work their way up to the highest peak in Southern California, San Gorgonio, and kind of know that they're physically and mentally prepared and what they would expect. So that's kind of where it started. 5 years later, we had our first official challenge. As you can see, it was sponsored by SoCalHiker.net. In 2015, we had 84 finishers that year and got together for pizza and beer and just celebrating. And a lot of these people that you see in this photo right here are still around and still doing the six pack and active in the hiking community, or they've gone on to even do bigger and better things, greater things out there. Some of them have really gotten into mountaineering, for example. And it's just really neat to be able to have that community and the connections that we've established there. So that's how we got started. Now, how's it going now? Let's take a look at where we're at today with Social Hiker and the Six Pack of Peaks Challenge series. Right today, as of 2022, we have 11 challenges. We have over 15,000 members through the last 8 years and across all of these 11 challenges, but limitless adventures. And it's really neat to be able to go through the hike logs and see and read about how the experiences they have, see the amazing photos that people share. We have people who do the challenges in many different ways. We have some people who try to do it as fast as they can and in as short a period as possible. We have other people who try to do it in the snow. They try to find the longest or the most challenging route, or they try to find, maybe they're just starting out and they're just trying to get it done. That's their goal is in the end is just to actually complete the challenge. But no matter what, we have lots of different people participating. On any given weekend, we have challengers all over the place. And I just pulled a snapshot from our hike logs page, and we have hikes being logged on October 29th for Ontario and in Southern California, the Arizona Challenge, San Diego, Northern California Challenge, and all over the country. And that's really cool to see and know that you can be a part of this community. And I touched on this before. the challenge is really open and accessible to people from all ages and all abilities. Everyone from, a 6-year-old koa in the wild to, we have a group here in Central Oregon called the BATS, the Badass Trail Sisters, and 2 of them are 70 years old. So, it kind of runs the whole range of age and of also ability. We have people who are, truly amazing people that surpass my abilities, people who are running the trails, trail runners. And we also have people who are just starting out, and we hear back and they go, this was the first time I've ever been on the top of a mountain that I actually climbed, and I feel so accomplished. I was able to do so much. So the thing that's really cool, though, is that all of these people, regardless of their age or their experience or their ability levels, are finding a way to flex their adventure muscles, and they're inspiring other people as they go. But I think one of the things that's really cool about what we've done so far, and since we started this, we've raised over $117,000 for outdoor-related nonprofits. We've partnered with Big City Mountaineers, with the Heroes Project, and Leave No Trace, and we're looking at ways to help expand that. Big City Mountaineers, if anyone doesn't know of them, you can find more about them at bigcitymountaineers.org. But they've given over 10,000 under-resourced youth their first week-long wilderness experience. The Heroes Project, they like to say that they make the impossible a reality by empowering the injured community. Specifically, they've worked a lot with veterans who've lost a leg in service to the country, and worked with them to redefine what they can do. They've taken them up many of the 7 summits, if not all of them. And then, of course, Leave No Trace uses the power of science and education and stewardship to help educate everybody to ensure that we have a sustainable future for the outdoors. So that's a little bit about where we've been. Let's dive into really what's coming up next, because that's why you're here. What are we doing next? What can you expect? Let's get into it. One of the things that we had a lot of requests for is a way to prepare for the 6-pack. The 6-pack at Peaks is not something that you want to just jump off the couch if you're not a hiker already and go out and knock out those peaks. You have to prepare for it. It's not something that you can just start without any prior training or conditioning. And to address that, we partnered with Lee Welton of Trailside Fitness, and we're starting a 12-week Hike Fit Challenge that launches January 1st. The idea is that it'll improve your hiking fitness and durability so that, and by durability, I mean reduce the chances of getting injured on the trail. It's adaptable for all fitness levels. So if you're coming off the couch and just getting back, or maybe you're just getting back into hiking after a hiatus, you can do that. If you're already fit, there's ways to level up the challenge, essentially, so that it can really help you as well. The Hike Fit Challenge is included for all 6-pack of Peaks challengers, and it's something that will just be a lot of fun for us to do together. We're going to be doing it starting January 1st and going 12 weeks. Non-challengers, we're doing something that we're considering a net zero cost, because it'll be $12 to sign up for this if you're not a 6-pack of Peaks challenger. And then at the end, if you complete the 12-week program, you get that $12 back in a discount on registration or a t-shirt or whatever product you want. And it's the perfect way to really kickstart your 2023 adventure goals, perhaps even the 6-pack of Peaks challenge. So we're really excited about this. And of course, there's going to be badges and other good fun along the way that you can earn. Another thing that we're doing is we're refreshing the visual, the graphics, the badges. We have badges for each of the challenges, and we have badges for Peaks, and we have badges for the series. And you can kind of see they've evolved over time, over the years. I'm not showing all of them here. You can see our oldest challenge, Southern California, and it's kind of changed over the years. Our peak badges have changed a little bit from year to year, and even some of the badges now have started to take on the shape of the state that they take place in, and that's really where we're headed. So I want to just unveil a little bit about what that looks like. Our refresh badges do follow that region that the challenge is based in. There will be a color that matches the peak badges. So for Arizona winter, you can see we've included here 3 examples: Flatiron, Camelback, and Picacho Peak. And those are the peak badges that you'll wear along with that. And the thing that I think it's going to be pretty cool is that, I love to put stickers on my Nalgene bottles. And with the hexagonal shape of the peak badges, make a perfect sort of honeycomb fit to really kind of puzzle piece those peak badges together on your Nalgenes. And the colors will rotate from challenge to challenge from year to year. So as if you do the Southern California challenge in 2023, you have this nice blue badge, and if you do it in 2024, it's going to be a different color, so that you'll always have some way to distinguish your stickers and swag and all the other good stuff. So we're really stoked about this. We worked with a gal in Explore Studios in Boulder, Colorado, to help develop this new theme, and it also carries over into other elements, UI elements on the app and in the website. But the big thing is we're growing. We're actually we have a 6-pack of new challenges, including Northern California, which is going to be based out of Redding and look into like the areas around Trinity and Lassen and that area. What's currently known, or will be formally known as the Northern California Challenge, becomes the Bay Area Challenge. We're adding a Central Coast Challenge based around Buellton, up above Santa Barbara, Santa Clara, that area. We have a Lake Tahoe Challenge coming, a New Mexico Challenge, an Adirondacks Challenge, and an Appalachian Challenge. And we're super excited about this. Along with the new challenges, we have regional curators helping us really vet the peaks that we have and the routes that we have in each of the challenge. For example, a few examples here. On the Central Coast, we have longtime Buellton resident and personal friend of mine, Kurt Craig, who we've done a lot of backpacking together, but he's a real fervent advocate for the outdoors. And he's spent, I don't know how many, countless hours with the Santa Barbara County Trails Council, organizing trail crews, maintaining and creating new hiking routes in the Central Coast area. Benny Braden, who is an advocate for public lands, he's also the founder of a nonprofit called Responsible Stewardship. And he's known for a lot of things. He's got a great YouTube channel and all that, but one of the things that he's well known for is hiking every trail in the Great Smoky Mountains, all over 900 miles. And so he knows his stuff when we talk about the Appalachian Mountains. And John Soares, who is a guidebook author, he's authored multiple guidebooks, including 100 Classic Hikes, Northern California, Day Hiking, Mount Shasta, Lassen, and Trinity Alps regions, and Hike the Parks, Redwood National and State Parks. All of those are published through Mountaineers Books in Seattle. He is our curator for the new Northern California Challenge, and we'll have others to introduce to you as we launch these. We've got new swag coming. People who have already signed up for the Arizona the 2023 Arizona Winter Challenge, which is actually started. We have people logging hikes and they're off doing it. They're getting our new hiker tag. So we kind of pair together a little 6-pack of Peaks mini carabiner with your challenger number on the tag. So you'll have perhaps bragging rights, depending on when you registered. It's the order in which you were registered. On the flip side of that, there's a quick reference to the challenge itself, as well as a QR code that takes you to an overview of the complete challenge with links to the detailed trail guides for each of the trails in the challenge, which is useful for you if you're trying to figure out, what's the next one I'm going to do, or where do I get the trail guide for this. But it's also useful as you run into somebody and they go, hey, what's the 6-pack of peaks challenge that I see here? You can have them scan the QR code and it'll take them right to that information. It's also a great way to just identify other 6-pack of peaks challengers that you meet on the trail. I know that I've done that. Like sometimes I've worn one of my my 6-pack of peaks t-shirts, and it's been really neat to be able to run into somebody, or I'll see somebody wearing one of the t-shirts on the trail. And that's always really fun to be able to meet, like, hey, I'm doing the 6-pack too. Awesome. Which one are you doing next? And that kind of thing. So this will be a great way to do that. The carabiner makes it super easy to just clip onto the back of your day pack. And if like me, you have like different day packs, depending on how long the hike is and what you're carrying, you can just unclip it and reclip it onto the next pack. So pretty awesome for that. For the finishers, we're going to a beautiful, some really, really nice enamel pins, finisher pins. So these are a polished nickel finish with like a cloisonne fill. And it's a smooth top and with a soft touch PVC clasp you could put it in a hat or on a backpacking strap and it's not going to annoy you. And you could just put it on your backpack itself. And unlike a patch that you have to try to sew on, you can just pin this on. And when you want to switch to you get a new pack for Christmas, you can just unpin it and pin it on the next one. So we're really stoked about these pins. I think they look awesome. I don't have one at my desk, unfortunately, or I'd show it to you in live. They're really, really slick. And we have some new partnerships that we're going to be announcing. So I don't want to go too far in here because some of the details are still being fleshed out, but we're going to have new brand partnerships. So there could be things like, oh gosh, discounts on beer at Figueroa Mountain Brewing for the Central Coast Challengers. New nonprofit partners like Responsible Stewardship. So there'll be options when you register to be able to direct money to, maybe a local charity or a different charity that you feel really passionate about. And we're partnering with L Trails to provide a discounted pro registration. If you want that registration for downloading the maps, which I highly recommend, this cuts the price down considerably. So we're going to have all of those available, and then we'll be announcing additional partnerships with nonprofits and with regional sponsors as well. Pretty stoked about this. I think I can't wait. I've been up to Fig Mountain Brewing in Buellton, which is kind of their mothership where they started, and it's a great place to go after you've done a long day hike and you're thirsty and hot, and just have a nice cold beverage. Great way to end a hike. And then finally, we have a lot of updates coming to the web and our app. So we have we're going to have the ability for you to play along and level up your outdoor skills. So new ways for you to earn badges, things like community participation, streak badges. You've logged a hike every week for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you'll get a badge for that. We're having additional outdoor skill badges. We did something like this we introduced this first in 2020, this year, with our Leave No Trace workshop. We'll do additional workshops and other ways for you to get recognition for the skills. If you've done wilderness first aid training, for example, and been certified in that, we want to recognize that and help identify you within the community as having that expertise. And other special badges, such as the one that you'll get for participating in this live stream. We have some really cool things coming to your profile, including a peak counter that's going to count all of the peaks that you've done starting from 2022 on. So it'll it's in there behind the scenes already. and it's counting all of the 6-pack peaks that you've logged, and even if you've logged them multiple times. So that's another new thing that we're you down Baldy, once a month, you could get, well, for all 12 of those. A new form of currency in a way called acorns, which is going to allow people to collect and redeem those based on the purchases they made in the shop or the registrations they've done. So the more that you've done over time, you're going to collect those acorns, and you can trade those in and for discounts and free swag and things like that in the shop. We have peak points and levels that you'll earn for different activities on the site. So you're going to have a way to be able to kind of compete, if that's your thing, with other people on the site. So our goal is not to really see who's the most active or anything like that, but we want to try to knit and strengthen the bonds in the community. And all of that is going to be reflected with updated website and app components. And I've kind of given you a sneak peek of what's happening to the app. Two things that are really the most important. One, we're improving the navigation. So just like we have a dashboard that you'll see if you go to the mobile website or if you go to your laptop or your desktop at home, we have a dashboard that makes it pretty easy to get to your hike logs or to log a new hike or to see the finishers list, all of those things. And some of the other information like, oh gosh, how do I enter this month's giveaway? Or how do I post a question in the discussion forum? All of that's going to be right here. So we'll have a version of that dashboard for the app. And so, and then the big one for me is that the logging your hikes. So there was a period of time when we first launched the app where the logging hikes didn't really work from the app. So we ended up pulling it out. We're putting it back in, and we're really stoked about that because honestly, when I go on my last 6-pack of peaks hike was a couple weeks ago, just at the end of October. My wife and I did Belknap Crater in the Central Oregon Challenge, and this phone is my camera. That's where my photos are, and so it makes it super easy for me to just log my hike right from this device and be able to share it really quickly. And you'll be able to do that right from the app. So I'm really stoked about that. It's going to be much, much better. And you'll be able to see on your profile all of your achievements, so your badges you've earned and where you stand there, your peak counter, all of the things that we talked about will be there on the app as well as on the website. Whew. Boy, I need to take a breath. So what does this all lead to? Our goal is this, just the joy of being on setting some big gnarly goals and going out and achieving them. And I think this picture, we've used this picture a lot from, I think this is from Mount San Jacinto near sunset. And it's just a spectacular photo, but it also is very expressive because I think it speaks to that joy and that exhilaration of accomplishing something that's big, gnarly, and redefines what you're capable of. And I think that's a big part of what the 6-pack of peaks challenge has been for me and for many people. The other thing is it's you as people tell me a lot of times that I've inspired them in many ways, but I'm also inspired by all of you. I'm inspired by the hike logs. I'm inspired by the stories and the anecdotes. I'm inspired by the beautiful photography. I'm inspired by the amazing stories that you share on the hike logs and what I hear back, either through personal messages or through an email or whatever. It's just amazing what you guys are doing, and it inspires me. And I know that you in turn inspire many other people through your hiking. And I think that's the thing that is most amazing about this. And I look forward to, in 2023, all of us growing closer as a community, having a great place where we can meet, where we can gather online and meet without the noise and distraction of some other social networks that might be out there, so that we can just kind of have that community and feel like we're a part of something bigger than just us.